What's that?
Where's that?
Yeah, they can hear you now. Hell yeah.
We in business, boy.
You're damn right we are, man.
We live, boy.
It's about to go down, sonny boy.
I'm dealing
Let's
with
hope everybody to show up.
camera over here.
I don't see nobody here yet.
The camera having a little bit of movement there.
Yeah.
You'll see me. So
Give me a second right now. Hazte para allí, mamá, mira. Así no te ven ahí. Yeah, man. Let's just share this out. You know how we do.
Doing the sharing, let's give a little brief summary of what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Today, ladies and gentlemen.
Take it away, Lesnar. ¿Y el otro?
All of y'all have probably been wondering, why are my brother and I doing a podcast about professional wrestling? You're
damn right.
Well, today you will know exactly why, because we're going to give you guys a little backstory of just who the hell we are.
Álgame la Triple H.
All I need is the water, but I don't got the water, but I do have some Mountain Dew here.
I'm just sharing this out, people. But my brother explains the whole damn show.
So today we're going to give y'all a little rundown of who we are, what we've done, what our relationship is. Why is this one bearded guy who looks homeless, that would be me, be sitting on a camera here and running his mouth about when he looks like he spent most of his time in catering.
Hey, Keener Bird, what's that?
You ain't lying. Catering is pretty good. That's why I spend my time in catering. I'm just kidding. We're going to tell y'all, what's up, Kenneth? What up? Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, you just give him a brief of what's going on and what we're about to do with this thing, because this is something new.
A brief summary of what we need, of what we're going to be talking about today. We're also going to be taking some of your questions, if you have any questions, of course, that pertain to us. Just don't make them too personal. Just, whatever you want to ask us about wrestling or about our experiences, because that's the whole point, to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what we've done within the business. So while my brother shares it, I just thought I'd give you guys
hell yeah, we just
summary of what you're going to hear here today, so you know, and you can decide early on if you want to stick around and find out, or if you want to be like, all right, I'm going to just bounce this week. I'll come back next week to see what they got in store for me, which is fine too. We're cool with that. It's up to you. You listen to the podcast whenever you want to. It'll be available on YouTube right afterwards, so you can check it out there. If you're at work and you can't stay and you want to, get the full rundown of what we talked about today, you can see it on YouTube on the X-Gamers Asylum channel. Also, because we're going to give the rundown of who the hell we are.
That's right.
We're also going to talk about how we got started with the X-Gamers Asylum channel.
A little bit of everything, people.
We're going to talk a little bit about everything, so you guys get a feel for who we, like I said, who we are. I sound like I'm repeating myself. I have some special guests because I have a kitty. Well, she's asleep now. But
Both of them are asleep?
Yeah, they just fell asleep too. That's funny.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were going to join us, but just in case they wake up at some point.
But they don't run around, right? When they wake up, or they just stay next to you, at least, right?
They chill in one spot, and they sleep in very interesting angles, very interesting positions. They look.
Hermano Santi Benítez, saludos. WhatsApp.
Bienvenido, ¿qué es lo que hay? Aquí hablamos español también, we're bilingual.
Claro. Él está en Argentina.
Oh, Argentina.
Argentina, shit.
Pues yo metí un gol en un mundial con una mano. No me vieron. I gotta put more into that. Hold on.
We got the homie, the member, Miller in the busy, yo. Who you with?
What up? Welcome. I'm starting that too. Who you with? Me? I'm with two kitties, like I just said. I'm with my gray kitty Laura and my white kitty Logan. I forgot their name. me forgetting their names. Shame on me. So yeah, whenever you're ready, bro, we could get started.
All right, people, let's get down to it. I'm gonna tell my story because I only had one wrestling match, and it's not gonna be like my friend over here, my best friend over here. This guy is crazy, people. You will know. He is not okay over here. No, he's actually is. He's one of the smartest men I know. He's one of the persons that you could go through and advise you on anything. He will not tell you, oh, you cannot be done. We're not going to do this. We're not going to succeed. No, that's not him. But that's besides the point. Welcome, everybody. Don't forget to smash that like button for your boy. Who you with? I had to say that, man.
And I'll say it one more time to remind everybody, because my voice might sound somewhat familiar to some people, because I was early on in the X-Gamers Asylum.
Oh, yes. We started this together, man.
I was the angry gamer, but I went to I went through anger management, so these days I'm a much peaceful individual.
You're a better man now.
I'm a better man, and now I got a halo over my head. Not really, but that's okay. So after going through anger management, I calmed down. I'm no longer that angry, bitter human being I was back in the day with the channel when the channel first started.
We have a playlist on you.
Now
As a matter of fact, when you tell your story, when you get to your story, I'm gonna drop your playlist, because we know I made a playlist for that, for all your videos, so people can see it there.
You can check it out if you want. If you want to go back in time.
You're not gonna miss it, people. I'm telling you, it's funny. It's funny as hell. He's funny.
Yeah, I try, and just so y'all know, in case you think I'm being serious, I'm not that angry of a human being. Okay, so when you see those videos, please just know that
it's rated 18, people. All right.
Yeah, it's for adults. Kids.
I actually have every video listed, not for kids. We did that from the beginning.
Make sure that when you check that out, your kids are asleep. You don't want them to come in there and catch you watching some of my videos as the angry gamer. Don't worry, there's nothing explicit.
Julio Britos, mi amigo from, I think he's Brazil. I'm not sure. Julio, bienvenidos. ¿Qué tal, hermano? What language is that, bro? You could tell me.
I believe that is Portuguese. Yes.
Portuguese?
I would say that is Portuguese.
Yeah, that's where he's from then. I mean, I guess he's from there. He's been a subscriber, bro, for a long time. Always here. Julio, desde principio.
Let him confirm that. Is that Portuguese, my friend?
If you still here, Julio, is that Portuguese? Portugués? Español? Amigo? I think it is, bro. I don't think it's from Italy or Brazil, right?
I don't know. I don't think it's Italian. I would recognize Italian when I see it.
Yeah, you speak Italian too.
Io parlare
exactly. I wouldn't speak Italian even to save my life.
Yeah, if you had to save your life, you'd be in trouble.
¿Qué dice ahí? Parabéns pelo trabajo, amigo. That means like good job or something?
I'm going to assume that he's trying to tell you he's at work.
Oh, está en el trabajo. Okay. Que no puede hablar porque está en el trabajo.
Sí.
Okay. All right.
Eso creo.
It's kind of like Spanish too. Ooh, yeah. Spanish.
Ooh, Spanish. But yeah, I'm excited to share this story with you guys. So.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. You ready for this?
Kick the show on the road for us.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna go with your boy, the crazy gamer. Who you with? Back in 2006, people, before my daughter wasn't even born. I was, I believe, like 20 or I was 20 years old. You got a crazy 20-year-old from Puerto Rico who was going through crazy shit, drinking, partying, working 2 jobs. I remember at the time. And then I was just doing bad. And I remember when my first wife told me, "Oh, I'm pregnant." I was like, are you talking to me? Like, is that a joke? I'm being serious. Like, is that a joke? I told you this already. Remember when we talk about it?
Yeah.
She said, "No, I'm 3 months." I'm like, what? And then during that time, we wanted to get our own place because you already know the story about living with any family member. You know how that goes. Los primeros días está bien, los 3 días apesta.
They say after 3 days, fish and get out to
Sí. Y los primeros días está bien y después, ya tú sabes, they want you to low, you stink, they just want you to move out. You know how that works.
To quote one of the best comedians I know, after 3 days, the people are like,
That's the truth. And so I was desperate, bro. Like I remember I had a Hyundai, si esta es la marca. ¿Cómo se dice? Hyundai, ¿verdad? El carro.
Hyundai, sí, Hyundai.
And then I had that small little 4-door car, and it was all we had to move, and we had to fix un montón de peor que el carro de Bejuco. We had to, and then this guy gives me a call, which big shout out to him, to ¿cómo que se llama él? Se me olvida. Oh my God, to Steven. Big shout out to Steven Rodriguez from PR. He's currently in New Jersey, right across the bridge. So this guy calls me because we know each other since junior high. He's a little older than us. I would say that time he was on his 24, 25. So he calls me. He said, yo, I'm doing a show because he's wrestling. He's doing the typical gym by gym. You know how it is in PR. Cancha de bajo techo.
Sí.
So he said, look, I'm doing a match and I'm trying to impress these people. He said, well, what does that have to do with me? He said, have you ever heard about a jobber? I said, of course. That's somebody who's supposed to make a main event player or somebody who's going to be pushed soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, a jobber is not just a jobber in WWE or in AEW. You're supposed to make your partner in the ring. You're supposed to make him look good.
In other words, enhancement talent.
Exactly. You can't just be, a lot of people say, he's a jobber, or this guy, what was his name in WWE? Kurt Hawkins, right?
Yeah.
Remember he's undefeated streak, padra. But he made those wrestlers look good. You remember his streak that he was undefeated?
Yeah, he was undefeated, patra.
See, okay, the Broken Brother came back and gave me some advice. Remember?
Yeah.
During that time?
Yeah.
So a jobber is very important in any match. You're supposed to make your opponent look good. So I said, why would you pick me? I have never wrestled, only on video games. I said, why would you pick me out of all the people? He said, nah, because I know you're going through some stuff, and you did say, which was true, people. If I recommend you to any job, will you do it? I said, I'll do it as long as it's not doing bad stuff, No drugs, none of that shit. Straight edge. Oye, el otro. Straight edge society. Should I put the mask on?
Yeah, put the mask on. You should shave your head.
So I said, damn, I'm gonna wrestle. Like I like wrestling. I've been waiting to wrestle for all my life. And so I told the guy, so what type of match are we having? He said, well, that's exactly what we want to talk about. Do you have a doctor? I said, yeah, I have a doctor. I have a primary doctor. Medical insurance at the time. He said, well, that's good. You're gonna need a physical. I said, I do it. Me dice, el tipo he don't tell me what type of match it is. I'm like, yo, you scaring me. What am I gonna get myself into?
I would be excited thinking it's a death
And
match.
then he said, oh, we're gonna have a hardcore match.
Ooh.
He said, so we're not having a wrestling match. Yeah, I said, because a wrestling match, you can't showcase me. And it's true, because I got no wrestling experience. ¿Qué voy a hacer yo? To injure him or injure myself. So in a hardcore environment, you don't have to worry about a good old headlock or, good old arm drag or body slam. You just got to grab a chair, grab a shoelace, ahorcalo, whatever it is, the case. So I said, yeah, I'm going to do this, but I'm not even going to tell my wife I'm doing this at the time because I don't want her to worry. I was just, bro, I was weighing 125 pounds, bro, at 20 years old. Es una pluma. So, yo, look at me, bro. I was in shape, I had no disease, no nothing. She said, yeah, we still need that medical. So we go to the he takes me, by the way, and he said, oh, yeah, he's fine. And the first thing that the doctor said, have you ever been in a ring? But because those people got their own doctors. And the first thing I told him, I have never been in a ring. So technically I'm the jobber. Listen to this. Well, he needs to take care of me because I never wrestled for anything. Street fight, that doesn't count. Whatever altercation you had in the street is not compared when you had to supposed to compete with another man in the same ring and do maneuvers that people say, oh, it's fake. Oh man, you don't even know the story, people. And we will get to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I remember that was around June. My daughter was not even born yet. It was a weekend. It was a Sunday. You know, the wrestling promotions are weekly over there. It's not like here que hasta los Viernes Santo pelean. Over there, it's just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
See.
So I'm not gonna lie, but there was 100 people in there. It was not. It wasn't bad. The event wasn't bad, and I saw some of the famous people, but they were in a bigger event. I saw some faces like Ray Gonzalez. You know what I'm talking about? Old school. I saw a lot of wrestlers like Sensacional Carlito. He might not be a star, you know, but he had his own school.
He was
he
a
still
star.
does. He was a referee. I know you remember.
Yeah, and he became a star. He's a former world. He's not a world champion, but he's a former champion in WWE.
And still wrestles. But I saw a promo a couple of days of him, and I saw some of those guys walking by, and I was like, "Yo, I don't belong in this shit." Just like remember the audition when you said, "Snap out of it, man." I said, "Yo, these guys. Some of them are in great shape. Others are with a belly bigger than God knows who." So the day of the match, we were like the second match. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was nervous. So some of the wrestlers, not everybody, they take a little shot of whiskey or whatever.
Right.
Para los nervios.
Right.
So he said, "Yo, what the fuck are you giving me?" No, just take this because I know you're nervous, and it's gonna be all right. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When I came out of there, I had a tank top. You know who I remind me of myself? Billy Kidman, pero con 20 libras, con 100 libras menos. Remember Billy Kidman with the tank top and the shorts?
Yeah, I used to like him with that shooting star press that he had.
Yeah. Well, he had the
best.
long hair, and then he had the, well, he was in shape. That guy was like, what, like 200 and what at the time?
He was 215 at one point.
Exactly. I was 125, people. So we go into the ring. He comes out with this awesome gear, trunks. I don't have nothing. I just had jeans and a tank top. Imagínate qué cosa linda. That's all I had. And some Converse there, old school shit. He said, "All right, man. Just remember," he said, "I'll take it from here." See, you gotta imagine me what I must be feeling because I'm the freaking jobber, bro. The guy goes, you know how you locked up. The guy, we locked up. He picks me up. I didn't even jump. He just picks me up and does a body slam. He was in the ring. When he threw me in the floor, that's like when somebody pinch you in your lower back. You get a little pinch all the way to your spine, down your everything. Yeah. And I said, "Damn, these people want to talk about this is fake." And then he goes to the ropes, throws an elbow here, but déjame descansar in Spanish. Let me get it. I said, "Bro, it's only the beginning."
You're like, I gotta catch my breath, bro. What's up?
Yeah, because when he slammed me, I'm not used to that. When you get body slammed, you feel it. You took a body slam before. You know how that feels.
For those of you who have never experienced a body slam, I'll give you a little example of what that's like. So when when you take the body slam, it's like somebody took some electricity and
exactly all the way down your spine,
plugged it from the bottom of your foot all the way up to the top of your body. You feel that electricity running through your body. You think.
¿Cómo se dice, Luis? ¿Cómo se dice los vértigos de la espalda? How you say that in English?
That would be the
verticals?
The small of the back, I would say.
The verticals, ¿sabes? Lo que tiene la espina dorsal.
Yeah, your spine. That's your spine.
Yeah. All the verticals around it, they were playing musical chair. Imagínate.
It's no joke. Like you first feel that, but you watch them do it on TV, and you think, I don't think that'll hurt that bad. It does.
Exactly.
It's no joke. It's no joke. And like my brother said, I took one, and I remember I was thinking like, did somebody put electricity through my body all of a sudden? It's not fun.
And I imagine when you talk about your stuff, because that's worse. When the guy did the body slam, he picked me up. So he told me, "Look, man, this is not gonna work if you just don't think about anything." He told me, just whatever comes in your head, don't worry. I've been through this. So the first thing I did, bro, when I got up, I just hit him with a drop kick. Everybody was shocked. I mean, well, people were clapping, but especially him. I just did him a standing drop kick a lo Randy Orton. You know those standing ones?
Yeah.
Not even the running one. Just stand up and hit him with it. And he was shocked. He was like, oh, whoa. He went back to the ropes. So he said, okay, this will be your time. So I grabbed him like an Irish whip. Eso fue más viro el diablo que otra cosa.
That wasn't an Irish whip. That was probably a half Irish whip.
That was me trying to do one. I hit him with another drop kick. So I go down. He said, well, I'm not going to do no headlocks. They talk. They talk in the middle of the match. I'm not going to do no headlocks. I don't do no ankle locks. I don't want to mess with your ankles. I'm just going to grab a kendo stick. But this ain't no regular kendo. This is a broomstick. He said, can I hit you anywhere with it? He said, yeah. So I was so dumb that I hit him in the head instead of hitting him in the back. So it's automaticamente it split him open, bro, automatically.
That receipt's coming. The receipt's coming.
There's no blading. It's a fire boom. The first thing I said is, oh, he said, damn, you cut me. He said, don't worry, but you know how in wrestling they get back at you.
Yeah, the receipt.
Exactly a receipt. They get back at you. So we keep on. I hit him with that. I go for a small headlock. So he lifts me up, bro. He does a freaking atomic drop, inverted, the one that Shawn Michaels used to do. And he really let me drop on his knee, and I felt that shit on my butt, bro, like an injection. I don't know if that was the receive or the chair shot. One of those. The chair shot to my forearms were, oh my God, that burned.
Ooh.
People, this went on for more than, I would say, 12 minutes or 13 minutes of him bringing stuff into the ring and trying to work with me, because I might be the jobber, but that man was doing everything. That man was, I think he was the jobber.
he was
and you know what, bro? And even though we don't talk like we used to, shout outs to him. If he's watching or not, he's still doing his thing. I hope he makes it one day. But I will never forget that first match. Even though I lost, I'm not gonna win. Come on. But even him went to the backstage. I was busted too, on my mouth, not in my head. Even he told me on backstage, man, if you apply yourself, you could be a wrestler. And I said, well, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I said, when they talk about, I didn't talk about wrestling for like 2 weeks, bro.
Was that guy the same guy that was getting us a match?
Yeah, he never got back at us. Maybe, I don't know what happened there. He never got back at us. Remember we talk about, I give him my email, all excited and shit.
We could talk about that, because honestly, I mean, my life is different these days, but we still have to have that tag match.
And he changed. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of things going on there. I just wish him the best. But 2006 June, I will never forget that. That was 20 years old, bro. 125 pounds. I fought a hardcore. I can't even believe I did that shit. And you know better than anybody that hardcore is not regular wrestling.
No, it's brutal.
Exactly. It's just sticks, chairs, ladders, ropes, barbed wires. Hasta la business.
Yeah, they use whatever they can get their hands on. They'll bring a kitchen sink to the ring and drop it on you.
And what I could tell you personally from this experience, I never doubted that wrestling was real. Is that, man, they say it all the time. Don't try this shit at home. Bro, I was sore for almost a month. It was just one match. It felt like, when you go to the gym and the first day hurts, then the second day is worse, then the third day I was ni doblarme, brother. That's how bad it was.
Damn,
and I was bruised up because that shit that they shared. I'm not gonna say, oh, they broke my back, but they burned. I don't know if you took one before, but they burned.
Just imagine what I felt when I'm doing my stories.
Just imagine a share shot when you never even had. Just imagine your first wrestling match, hardcore match. Imagine that, bro. Like your first. People think wrestling, oh, they're gonna fight in trunks.
I would be disappointed if I didn't see thumbtacks or any of that.
Muchacho said that he went. I could tell he went a little. He got his momentums there, but he went easy though. So that was, I have never done anything in wrestling again. If I one day get an opportunity, trust me, I'm not doing hardcore. Fuck that.
You know, and make sure if you do a hardcore that it's a tag match, so I can be your partner.
This time I'm gonna go with a stretcher.
You,
Yes.
this time, this time you'd have to bring 2 stretchers because if I'm in hardcore, I'm gonna keep going until my body tells me I can't go no more. So that's.
Let's see who got. Oh, Red Gamer, welcome to the stream. What? You didn't see his comment? Hope he wasn't late.
It hasn't popped in yet. Hi there.
So yeah, man, that was my story, man. And what can I say, bro? If I were to do something like that again, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I didn't tell you how much I got paid. I only got paid $300 for that match because he got paid. You know
Well, 300 is not bad when you consider that.
and I took risks because
A lot of indie people wrestle for $20 in a handshake, and you know what I'm saying?
but he did that because he knows what I was going through. So it made un poco más. You know how it is.
Yeah, he was nice.
That's why I can't say the guy's bad. You know, he made more than that. The guy was wrestling for $100. Él me lo decía.
Yeah, it's crazy. So he paid.
That's another thing that people don't understand. Like you just said, there are wrestlers out there, people that wrestle for $20.
$20 in a handshake. People might think being dramatic, but you have think about this. Here's the thing: most people don't realize about wrestling, right? So wrestlers get paid based on, well, the indie wrestlers anyway, based on the box office, right? Meaning, if you're in a gym that holds 50, 75 people, right? You have to do the math, right? Let's say you sell the tickets, for argument's sake, right? Just to give an example, let's say you sell the tickets for $10 a piece, right? Now you're looking at 75 people times 10. That's your door, and that's the money that the promoter is used to pay the talent. The problem with that is they also have to pay. They have to pay a fee because in some cases you have to rent an actual ring to have the match.
And in other cases, I don't want to cut you off. Like people don't know this, but when you're in there, it's your risk.
Yeah,
that's what they tell you. Let me get your doctor papers. Whatever happens in that ring, it's on you. Like they told Spider-Man, remember?
Yep.
In the movie.
Yep.
500. You guys said 5,000.
If
you got pinned in two with web head.
If you die,
that's it.
Tough luck, right?
That's it.
And if you don't believe me, just ask Mass Transit. Anybody story?
And all those young wrestlers who have passed away wrestling for less than $100. It's crazy, bro. Let's not even talk about prices because it might be too many people. It might, say, "Oh, we're not discrediting the sport." This is true reality. That's why everybody wants to work for companies like WWE. Listen, people.
And like what I'm saying is like the indie wrestlers get paid, like I said, based on what the door makes, right? So if you make a lot, you might get paid a little bit more, especially if you're the main event, because the main event is supposed to be the main draw of the company, right? So if you're a main eventer, you might make a little bit more in the indies than your average opening card guy, right? But still, that's not saying much because in the indies, and that's not knocking the indies either. I have nothing but respect for indie wrestling because a lot of the men and women who lace it up in the indies risk their life, risk their health, to make a few bucks just because they love the business. You really gotta love the business to get yourself involved in the indies.
And we're not even talking about all they go through. Those car drives to going to state. You know what, bro? I got a lot of respect. I always do. But when you witness actual wrestling, it will change your mind. Trust me.
And here's the thing: we didn't really get to go to our first WWE show till 2017.
Oh yeah, man.
I've been to plenty of shows, like in Puerto Rico. I used to go to see WC. I lived across the street from the Coliseum in San Sebastian, and I always went. and they only went there a couple times a year. But that's where my love for wrestling really grew, when I had the chance to see Carlos Colon and people from WWC as a kid. That's where my love for it really grew. And I got to meet Carlos Colon a couple of times as a kid. I got a couple of pictures with him, which if I show you the pictures, you can't really see Carlos because the lighting was really bad, and you know, he's
he was not the typical blue eyes. I know.
right
Yeah, no otro.
because
Only
he's
playing people.
because he's dark complected, right? The arena looked really dark, and it looks like a really dark black spot in the picture. But I know it's him because I remember I was standing there kind of like frozen, just staring at him because I looked up to him so much as a kid. And I go, "What de Puerto Rico?" And that's where my love for wrestling grew. Now,
Yeah, he's a legend, man. Hands
now,
down.
now I can share my story, right?
Oh yes, I'm even waiting for this because I know we talk about, but
This is gonna get good right here because
this is not your typical wrestling story.
in my brother's case, what you did was 100% pro, right? It doesn't get much more pro than that. I didn't start with pro. I started backyard. So that's like untrained, some crazy stuff that you do. And actually, what's funny about that was, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bitter, angry teenager. Or well, almost teenager, because I was about, yeah, no, I was a teenager already. I was maybe 14, 15 years old. So I was an angry teenager who was angry at the world. I feel like when I moved from Puerto Rico to New York, that I became a little bit bitter.
Mhm.
And so wrestling was kind of like my way of releasing that frustration, right? So, you know, one day I saw a bunch of kids in this very unsafe area, and they were like, you know, doing this thing here. I saw them doing headlocks. I saw them doing all this kind of stuff. And I decided to approach them, and I was like, hey, what you guys doing? And they were like, we're doing like our own little backyard style of wrestling,
Ooh, backyard. Oh my God, people!
beating the crap out of each other. And
Remember when they used to give that on pay-per-view?
yeah,
That's crazy, man.
and I thought, I want to join. I want in on this. Of course, that would be my downfall in life. Consequences of my decisions. The one match I remember the most was one day there was like a battle royal. I lost count of how many people were in it, but there were at least 15 to 20 people in it.
Oh wow.
We were and all of them were teenagers, really. And we were all just fighting around and doing our thing, and you were getting eliminated. And I just came in like a loose cannon, beating up on everybody
So that was your first actual match.
yes,
Oh my God, yo.
beating up on everybody who walked past me. Like if you walked past me during the match, you were gonna get some. 'Cause
And the best part about there's no ring, right? That's just straight up backyard.
it was straight up backyard, and actually we did it in the most unconventional area you could do it. It was like a handball court.
Oh my God, that's cement on that floor.
Yeah, it was like a handball court, and it was just so the hand court.
Jesus Christ.
You know, there's like a handball wall, right? So there was like this big wall that separated the park, and there was like one half people
That
could
is
handball,
that's insane, man.
and the other half, you know, basically two courts of handball. So we took both. It kind of looked like war games, right? Because there was two courts, and we used both. We used both courts to have the battle royal.
Uh-oh, Red Gamer said what? Backyard. What? Backyard.
And the guys, everybody was beating the crap out of each other. So there's a moment.
So my question is like, because I never did backyard wrestling. I'm crazy, but damn, you beat me on that one. So do anybody knows the outcome of that match, or is it just
Well, it's interesting because the match that I had, they had their
Because you know how the referee usually knows the ending, or some other wrestlers,
right.
they be like,
Well,
"Yo, it's time for me to hit the finisher," you know?
they have in some cases I can't speak for
Yeah.
any backyard style, but the backyard that we had for that particular battle royal, I don't remember seeing a ref anywhere, and so everybody was just going at it. It was a free for all.
Oh my God, free for all.
But there was one guy who clearly wanted to win that thing, and me, I'm crazy, so I don't follow the rules very well.
You never did when it came to wrestling.
I don't follow the rules very well. So telling me that you know, once you're out, you're out. That's not a rule for me. If I'm still mad and I still want more violence, I'll come back in and get me some. So anyway, in the middle of that match, at one point, somebody Irish whipped me against this wall, and I just went and hit that wall.
You mean you got Irish whip to the wall? Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's not even ropes, people.
That's a wall.
He just mentioned Irish whip. It might be a basic move, but when you're bouncing off the rope, you're expecting to bounce back at your opponent. You don't bounce off walls.
I was going to say, try bouncing off a handball court wall. Don't try it, please. I'm not suggesting you should. Do not.
Oh my God, bro.
To make matters worse, I stayed in that.
What was that? Sorry to call you up. Was that when you hurt your back, or you were fine there?
I hurt my back.
In the same match?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to get to that because what happened was I went up against that wall, and that part was fine. I took it fine. I knew how to take that bump without injuring myself.
But still dangerous, man, because you got the back of the head could also hit the wall.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no bouncing back.
But because I already know how to take a bump, like in wrestling, I kind of use that.
Listen, people, the human body was not designed to bounce off walls.
No.
Just for you to know.
So I do that safely, right? And I stay in that corner.
Your boy Roy was it?
Not counting that. Was it? Not counting that there was a heavy kid that was gonna run to that corner and hit me with a splash. So he splashed me up against the corner. He was a big dude.
So how are we talking about? 6'5", 6'4"?
No, I don't necessarily mean height wise. I mean width.
Oh, body wise, yeah.
He was thick, right? Mm-hmm. And so he squished me. And what ended up happening was I got squished between the wall and his body weight.
Oh my God.
And I remember I felt like something ripped in my back.
Damn. That's when you heard your back crack?
It was the worst feeling.
Your liver quiver?
My knees freeze, Jack. I tried to finish the match. I lasted a good 10 to 15 minutes, even though I was barely able to stand.
Wow.
But I tried to do the old heel move of staying away from the action.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some feeling back, get some action going. Until at one point, somebody Irish whipped me. Can't even speak. Irish whipped me out of the match. I was like, mother. So I was pissed, and even though I can hardly walk, I made my way back in the ring and beat up the kid who kicked me out of the match. I was mad. So even though I can hardly walk, I beat this kid up. Really.
So how did you describe this feeling? Was it I know it was worse than taking a body slam on a wrestling ring, it's
hard to describe, but it was hard for me to walk because
was he supposed to Irish whip you to the wall? Just came up like that, like, oh, I'm just gonna throw you in the wall. You guys don't talk about nothing?
Sometimes we would just right before that moment be like, hey dude, I'm gonna Irish whip you toward the wall. Just go that way.
But you still talk, right? You still like tell your opponent? Just wondering.
just to let him know so he can keep himself safe. Because at the end of the day, we weren't trying to actually kill ourselves.
Yeah, even though that's what it looked like, right?
Yeah, we are trying to keep ourselves safe. Nobody's trying to kill nobody. We don't want to go to jail for murder.
Yeah, hell no.
So, it'd be like, hey, I'm going to Irish whip you. Just go in that direction and keep yourself safe, right? But, the splash thing was not, I did not agree to that. And it just happened. And then,
Wow.
so I didn't have really
What I most like, what just can't think about, your courage of you continuing, even though you don't know your back was not doing good. Did that really made it worse? So you were like, okay, I'm done with this.
It made it worse because, as the days went on.
Yeah, but in the actual match, you felt good.
During the match, I was in pain for a good hour. Like literally a good hour. And I remember I had to go inside. I had to go get looked at after. But I was refusing any kind of medical attention. And the others were like, dude, you got to get that checked out. And the guy who accidentally hurt me that day came up to me and said, my bad, bro, my bad. And I gave him a pound. And
you can't really be mad at him because it happened.
I wasn't mad at him because it was an accident, And that stuff happens in professional wrestling and backyard. That stuff happens.
And I'm not going to lie, going back to mine for a second, when I hit the guy with the stick, I thought he was going to be mad at me for life because some wrestlers take that as a insult or as you took a shot at me, I'm going to give you a little receipt. You know how that goes. Sometimes that creates back brawls, but you've seen them.
Yeah. And what's funny,
many people don't understand this, but that's an actual job. That's your co-worker.
Right.
People think, they beat themselves up, but they go to dinner the next day.
Right. I know back in the day, because of kayfabe, heels and baby faces could never coexist.
But yeah, that's true.
Right now, where the curtain has been dropped because of the internet has dropped the curtain. So nowadays, everybody knows that everybody hangs out with everybody, and
the whole locker room.
Which is sad. It does make me a little sad that tradition has been, deleted. Basically, delete. Sorry, Matt, don't sue me. And so it's the guy was nice enough to apologize, so I worked it out with him, and it was cool. But I was in pain for a good few days. My back. So to make a long story a little shorter, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me check something right here. Yeah,
I went untreated for a good 3 months, 2 or 3 months.
Oh, wow. I was
dealing with issues.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. What happened was
it got worse.
After a few weeks, what ended up happening was I would wake up every morning unable to feel my legs. I couldn't. So.
Oh, you had movement on them, right?
Yeah. Well, the problem was I couldn't feel them. So I kept thinking, and I would just smack my legs a few times, and they come back.
So how did you? What was the first thing that came to your head? Because I gotta know this. Oh my God, am I gonna be able to walk again? What is gonna happen? What was your thought at that moment?
You know I'm crazy. So my first thought was,
I know that for sure.
Get up and walk it off. Walk it off. Maybe it's a cramp. Maybe something happened. Get up and walk it off. So I would get up, even though I couldn't feel them. I would force myself to try to walk, and then walk around holding on to something, and take a few steps around my house until I could feel my legs again. So then my legs were back to normal. And
I just can't imagine, how does that even feel? Like you could walk, but you can't feel your legs. That's just thinking about that. I'm going nuts right now. I never experienced that, but I know what numb is, because you'd be like, I can't feel my finger. But imagine you walking on your two legs that you can't feel.
and my, it's part of the reason why my mom was always scared about me doing pro, because
lay down.
She knows I'm crazy, and she knows I'm whatever.
Listen, bro, I know how tough you are. It's not because you're my best friend, because I've seen tough. I know how tough you are, but backyard wrestling, I know, I'm not discrediting that. that ran from like 2000 and early 2000s to mid 2000. I don't even remember for how long. I know it was a thing.
Yeah.
Even in PR they did it.
Yep. It was a popular thing back in the day. Were popular.
Oh
So,
my God, backyard wrestling, man.
and you know what was funny was after 3 months of me dealing with the same thing, I
But
found.
you didn't have to go to surgery, like none of that.
Well, I went to see a specialist on that. I had like MRIs done. I had all kinds of
CAT scans and all that stuff.
and just to see what's going on back there. And then
My God, man.
to his office, and he tells me, "So now we know why you have numbness in your legs. This has to do with your back," which, of course, I had a feeling, right? And he asked me, "Have you gone through any kind of injuries or any kind of issues?" And I was kind of like, I don't want to say it because my
Great gamer, damn crazy. That'll be me.
I was
Oh
like,
my God.
I was sitting there, and my mom was in the room with me, so I was kind of scared to tell the doctor.
I know his mother, people. She's not easy, believe me.
Backyard wrestling. Backyard wrestling is the reason why my back is messed up. Because
Now my question is, you were not getting paid for none of that stuff, right?
I was.
Oh my God, bro, that's insane.
I was doing it for fun. I didn't care. I was only like I said, 15, 16 at the most. I was really young. And
Wow.
so, and it's because my ultimate goal in life was I wanted to do pro, right? And of course, a lot of pros look down on backyard wrestling.
Of course.
They look down on it because it's not.
Remember when I met Christian?
Yeah.
At the 2018 Comic-Con, I told him about you. He said, backyard wrestling. Can you talk about something else? He said. It's crazy, bro. Like you said, wrestlers look down on that, but I don't understand whoever came up with that. But that was just to me. To me. You can't call that wrestling. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm not discouraging wrestling, but that's like a new level of wrestling. Jesus Christ.
For people with mental issues like me. I admit that I'm a little out there, but it's okay. I don't have a list of.
We were young, you know, and a lot of normal people did that too. So
I mean,
I remember.
It's almost like doing a suplex on your cousin, and you're hanging out with your family, and your cousin wants to do a wrestling chain. You know, that's
Crazy, man.
almost the same thing, right? Except
I was invited by one of my friends to. Oh yeah, let's go. I'm not doing that. No, sir.
I don't blame you, bro. I mean,
even if they pay me, bro. To be honest, I'm not even lying to you right now. Maybe at the time I was younger, I would do it, but I'm not saying. Oh, but it's too much, man. I've seen people jumping a freaking roof, bro, falling on somebody who's already in the floor. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that sucks.
Like he's just laying there in the concrete, and I'm gonna jump over you. I'm gonna do a high fly or an elbow drop. I mean, half my body's gonna fall on you, but what about my head?
So you ready to find out what my diagnosis was?
Yeah, we all are.
So the doctor said I had 2 discs in my back out of place.
Oh my God.
And the 2 discs in my back, and it's funny because every time I talk about this, I think about 2 actual CDs. I think about
same way over here.
But anyway, I had 2 discs slipped out of place. And what happened was that the 2 discs slipped in such a way that there were 2 bones in my back also out of place. The bones were touching basically the nerve that brings you feeling in your legs. So there were times.
So that's when the numbness came from.
Right. That's where the numbness came from, where I couldn't feel my legs. So
I could only imagine you.
They had to run. Yeah.
Can't feel my legs.
they had to run more tests because they weren't sure if I needed surgery, because sometimes you need surgery to repair that.
Wow.
So what ended up happening was my crazy butt, to keep it more family friendly, right?
Keep it PG.
I went to certain backyard things still, despite that. They were more careful with me that time around because
Increíble, mano.
they knew that this could be worse for me if another injury like that repeated. So, but I still
Meaning that you will be in a wheelchair?
yeah, I could have. And actually, they thought at one point that my athletic career was over after that injury.
It's crazy, bro. Like, I don't
They,
know, man.
I
I
spent
respect that, but that's insane.
like 6 months just dealing with that, and then it just turned out I didn't need surgery. I just rehab. Needed to rehab my back. I still deal with issues, like on really cloudy days when it's gonna rain. I feel it. It hurts. I don't feel numbness anymore, but I feel it back there. And also,
Oh, but
I'm,
at least you didn't need surgery.
yeah, that was the good news. Right? The bad news was that they were worried I could probably not do anything like athletic ever again because
Yeah, that's the big concern. And somebody who was younger still are, but at the time.
yeah, at the time I was doing backyard and I also was doing baseball. I was playing baseball in high school. I played my baseball career in high school was very short lived. Because my back just gave out on me all the time.
Could only imagine, man. Lord of Games.
Games.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream, buddy.
Welcome to the stream. Here we're sharing our crazy stories with professional wrestling. In my case, backyard, not really pro, but that's okay.
See, even for me, that's none of us were pro at the time or any time.
True, that's true. Of course, we had that opportunity that one match that we didn't have that we could have had.
So that's the only backyard thing you did?
That was the one I can remember. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of.
Because I was invited to another show, but I declined, man. I was like,
I think I had one more set before after my injury, but I was very careful that time around. I was actually a little bit more cautious the second time, But I used to love all that stuff, and then later
he actually this time he said, "Oh, you could, we could train you," but I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had the money, I would do it, but I'm not gonna tell somebody, "Oh, train me," then I'll be in debt. Like it's like me working for him,
Right.
Like I know he could train me. And the guy's good, man. Steven, I gotta give it to the guy. He's on his 40s already, and he's good.
I mean, for me, I've always thought like if somebody gave me an opportunity to train, I would do it. If I'll set up the ring if you want me to. If I can't afford to pay it, I'll help you set up the ring. I'll do something. Help with ticket sales.
He said, "Well, we're gonna have a match, like a regular match." I said, "I'm not gonna risk it because I don't know if I'm gonna hurt myself." I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I really like wrestling, but at the time I had my first daughter was about to be born, and there's a lot of shit going on in my life. So I said, you know what? As much as I love this, it's just painful as hell.
and after you reach a certain age, you start to think, and you're like, "Yeah, I think I want to live."
Yeah, and that's why most people, I give credit, man. Whenever you and I see a wrestler, we take our hats off to them.
Remember when
it's the least we could do.
Shout out to Gangrel, by the way, because we met him at Comic-Con a few
2019.
Yep. And very nice guy. He was all shy because he shook with his left hand.
He wanted to shake both of his hands, but
yeah,
that was impossible,
He used both hands to shake our hands, and he felt really bad about shaking my hand with the left.
To the left, yeah, I remember.
Thought it was funny because I didn't see it as disrespect. I understood what he was doing.
You know what's funny? I used to follow his page, but I don't see him posting anything. He has a school too.
He does, yeah.
I don't know what happened. I know he was doing matches too here and there.
Remember when we told him thank you for everything, thank you for the memories?
Yeah, he went like that. I remember.
Yeah.
I know he at that point he acknowledged that damn, these guys did appreciate what we did.
We always appreciate what people do.
I mean, that guy took beatings from the Undertaker, like ass whoopings. I don't have to tell you.
I understand that people have their favorites and people they don't like, just like we do, right? But I'm gonna say on record, anybody who has ever laid a pair of boots and gotten in that ring, I don't care if you had one match, if you've had half a match, if you've had a full career, if you
had a segment with Michael Cole, nah, I'm just playing.
if you tried and it turned out it wasn't for you,
Pain is in Uranus.
rage in
The only thing that matters.
at the end of the day, I have nothing but love and respect
Yeah,
for
man.
man or woman or child who has ever stepped between the ropes.
And not that you and I doubted that wrestling is real, man.
We've
But once you experience that live, like once you take a body slam, you take an arm drag or a DDT, whatever that is, you're gonna feel it, people.
and actually one of the coolest moments that we shared
Who you with?
since we're having this conversation, right? One of the coolest things we shared in our friendship was that Raw 25th, we were there. We were
Exactly.
there.
We got one of our good friends, Miller, here. Gotta introduce you to him.
Who
Good
you
people. He's one of our how you say it, members too. The guy is cool, man. I know him for about a year or more. Great person, great gamer, everything.
Welcome. I'm
So
glad.
yeah, like any wrestler I see, bro, like people don't even know, man.
You know, one of the coolest things that I remember is that same day we met Gangrel and Mick Foley.
And Scott Hall, right? Was it?
We also met Scott Hall.
That's right.
He was coming, and this is the most unusual place to meet a wrestler, right?
In the bathroom.
But we had to pee. So we
Who
were,
you with?
gotta go to the bathroom, whatever. As we're getting there to the men's room, we see like a huge commotion. And we're thinking like, what's going on over here? Is everybody using one bathroom? Scott Hall was coming.
Remember how he was being guided? That's
Yeah.
how, you know what, bro? When we saw him live, I was like, damn, he's fucked up. Remember, like he was all bent up and
He reminded of me when I injured my back. That was basically me. The way he was walking, that was basically me.
But here's the funny part. What many people don't know, we know this. Wrestling didn't do that to him. It was all those drugs.
No, I feel it's
and all that drinking.
To be fair, it's a combination
of both. Yeah.
Because a lot of these wrestlers become addicted to painkillers because of the. And actually, when I injured my back, that was the first thing the doctor prescribed me was painkillers, and I chose not to take them. I threw them in the garbage actually because that was around the same.
You did then.
That was around the same time British Bulldog died of.
Oh my God.
Painkiller issue. So I remember thinking like, I'm not taking that. I threw them out in the garbage. I drained them out in the garbage and threw out the medication. I didn't take it. So I lived in pain most of the time. As a matter of fact, when we met in high school, I was dealing with a lot of back issues. And a lot of times when I would miss days of school, it was because my back was really bad. Like I had days where I couldn't even breathe from the pain I was dealing with in my back because the pain would run from the back of my back all the way up. So when I would breathe, it would make the pain worse. So sometimes I had to go and hold really tight until the pain would pass.
So how long does this last? Like months, years?
I struggled with the back pain till about junior year of high school.
Damn.
I dealt with it for a good 2 or 3 years.
Jesus Christ.
I also think my weight had something to do with it too, because at the time he's fat. I'm still, I've lost significant weight, but back then I was about close to 300 pounds or getting there. So that didn't help, right? It only made my injury worse.
Yeah, because all that weight, that doesn't help.
Right. So, now I'm still, I'm not like skinny, but I guess I'm okay now. I feel
You're in the best shape I've seen you. Like back in 2017.
Yeah, because I've gone up and down, as you know.
So let me talk to ya.
Actually, I got in the best shape of my life before Tough Enough because I wanted to do Tough Enough. I auditioned for Tough Enough.
I wonder if you still have that email that Triple A sent you. You don't have it, right?
I think I do. I
would love to post that, man.
I don't delete my emails, so I probably have it. But it was cool. I don't know if that's like an automated message or if that was actually him. I think it was because his signature was at
I
the
don't
bottom.
think that the people use that. I don't think they use that.
So,
It will tell you like for WWE production or stuff like that.
right. So, it said thank you for your interest, and they tell you all the legal stuff. Like once you send your audition video,
I never did it, man. I should, but I never even did a video.
once you send your audition video, all the rights go to WWE. So technically speaking, my video became property of World Wrestling. So in a way, I kind of unofficially work for them.
Porque las cosas están a tu manera.
Para calle. So that and I met people actually online during the mid 2000s.
You know what was really funny to me, that Cody Rhodes had to buy his own name. That's what, bro. Remember that? Or last name Rhodes, was it?
Yeah, and you know what? I was kind of surprised. I remember thinking when I got the email from WWE from Tough Enough, I remember thinking like, okay, I didn't get picked, but they're still telling me that they sort of own the rights to my promo video, which means I risked them stealing my catch.
Which means they rocks. They rock. Oh my God, yo.
I was risking
some things never change, man.
I was risking them owning my catchphrase.
Yeah, because that's his promo, ladies and gentlemen. That shit was not stolen from anybody else. That's his stuff.
Some people told me you probably stole that from Jay-Z because Jay-Z has a song where he says that. And I said, I don't listen to Jay-Z.
Well, tell me, he give you that Booker T BS with Big E and all that stuff.
Yeah, he was like, he said some guy online, because I posted my video in a wrestling group, my promo. And one of the guys said, you stole that from Jay-Z's song. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that song you're telling me about. So clearly, I didn't steal it from his song because I don't know that song. I still don't know that song. I don't even know what.
You know how people are, bro.
So, but I thought to myself when I got the email, like, well, crap. Now they own my catchphrase now. They can use it if they want to, and I can't sue because I agreed.
You send it, that's crazy, man.
Because it tells you when you submit your video that you automatically agree to.
Which makes you think how many wrestlers have stolen gimmicks from other wrestlers, right?
It happens,
especially with WWE, man.
Ric Flair has talked about, and everybody knows he's my favorite of all time.
Including the rest.
Yeah. But I'm going to say I'm not a fan of some of the stuff he's done, like as a person, but I am a fan of his work.
In-ring work. That's right, people.
Use the two, right?
Who you with?
I think that just because you like a wrestler, you agree with their lifestyle choices, right? So, but his personal life is his problem. That's not
exactly.
I'm not judging him for his choices either. I ain't nobody to judge. But my point is, I look up to his in-ring style. I studied a lot of matches since I was
Nature boy, man.
I studied matches.
Styling and profiling, man.
I started watching matches. What year? When I was about 14, I had a neighbor who owned like an encyclopedia of matches.
Oh, the one you told me about?
Yeah, VHS.
I got a whole bunch of, ¿cómo se dice? La caseta.
Yeah.
Remember?
Shout out to Manny.
The VHS, yeah. I had a whole bunch of the wrestling stuff.
I can't say he died years back. I saw his wife and she told me he passed away. But he had a huge encyclopedia of going back to the 50s. And I remember I made a deal with him where he would tell me, if you keep up with your schoolwork and you do well, every weekend you could come and get as many tapes as you want. But you do your homework first, and you come here, and when you're done, and I see that you've done your work, you could take as many as you want, and you could sit at home, chill, and watch them. And I studied. I did a lot of studying. I'm talking about Pat Patterson. I'm talking about the Briscoes. Jerry
On Eric's. Ooh, what a
Briscoe,
family.
the Von Erichs, which is one of the biggest tragedies of wrestling. But I have nothing but love and respect for that family. The Terry Funk, the Funks. Let's see, Luthez. The cream of the crop of professional wrestling, which is why I'm usually big on technical. A lot of times I look at wrestlers like Moxley, for example, or Bryan Danielson, and I can see myself being like that, right? I love
As a wrestler?
yeah, I like the hardcore, because I'm too hardcore for Raw.
Here we go.
I'm too extreme for SmackDown. I'm in the perfect place right now. ECW.
Válgame, qué berría.
And I'll be your ECW World Champion.
Who can forget about that legendary moment?
Until he got a headbutt that sent him right back to Brooklyn. But yeah, I can see myself being somebody like that, right? Where I could take, throw me on thumbtacks, throw me on the.
Yeah, because everybody looks at Moxley that's why he's always been that version, but they forget that he could still wrestle. I mean, he could actually wrestle.
He's a great in-ring performer. That's
exactly.
Fun. But that's just part of his character.
Mine is that bleeding and all that other crazy shit that he does.
Yeah, he bleeds a lot. That's crazy. Not that I'm complaining. That
a little too much.
I want to bleed in my matches. Make it look like I'm getting my.
But yeah, those wrestlers, man, that did the back jar, going back to that.
Yeah.
I got fucked up in that place, man. My respects to that because, oh boy.
I'm still paying the price for that. Like I said, I feel the pain on cloudy days. My back tells me, this is your receipt for what you did. You messed me up when you was young, and now I'm messing you up.
Yeah, definitely did, man.
And now, now I'd be more cautious. Obviously, my life has changed. I got 2 kitties. I got my girl. And
most importantly,
my life is different now. So, sometimes I'll tell her a joke. I want to have another match.
I don't even think I could have talked you out of that.
I want to have another match. And she'll look at me like, yeah, you crazy. You think you're But,
yeah.
Sometimes.
Because my concern about that, if it's for a company like, that actually covers your medical bills, I don't care if I get hurt. I'm getting paid. Right. But do that shit for free. It's like, wow, like it's a lot of love, man, Shit.
Like, and I guess I've always been an all-in kind of guy, because even
for myself, taking those $300 for the price of being crippled.
Right. That's
literally.
Yeah, you could have ended up being crippled. My bad. Sorry about that.
It's crazy. Like, sometimes we don't think, man, but this is wrestling, people. Some of these wrestlers do even worse things that we did. Look at Mick Foley. Remember when he used to jump off his house?
Yeah, I remember that.
For some reason, WWE was impressed with that. I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Then they would have been impressed with me if they would have saw the stuff I did, if there was tape on it.
No, because a lot of these companies used to do that. Same. I don't know if they do it now, but that's how wrestlers were found. Like, talents, they were found. Mick Foley was one of them.
Yeah.
They still show those videos on WWE.
It's crazy to think that, even Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's another one.
Boy, he liked all that crazy shit.
Young Bucks. The Young Bucks started in Backyard too. They had their own little thing going back in the day. So
crazy, man.
Clearly, it's changed a little bit, right? As far as acceptance, right?
And the fact that they're a name already in wrestling. They could go anywhere they want. And right. They still do death matches without even have to do any of that. It's just, that's more respect to those people, man. If they're making good money.
You know, like um, I
Like, what was
remember
the name of that match that they had? Stampede. What? Remember that?
Stadium Stampede,
Yeah, or the other one, the one with the cage. Remember what
oh,
they?
Blood and Guts.
Yeah, that match was sick. Like, you really think a guy like Mosley needs to benefit from a match that, for example, he's won it all, like, and he still likes doing all that shit.
Yeah, you really gotta love the business to put your body through what he put in.
He's been triple crown winning WWE. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it in AEW. Anywhere he goes.
What was funny too, you know, I did the whole backyard stuff and never got paid. That's kind of the thing of like the story of my life in general.
Yeah.
When I love something, I'll do it for free if I have
Oh,
to.
but just look when we started this.
Yeah, you know, we started this.
Even if you see that little dollar sign on the bottom of your chat, that does not mean that, oh, we're gonna be rich. No, this is means that we gotta work more.
Right.
And we
Kind of
started, like you said, doing this for free.
like, you know, after the backyard stuff, I focused on music because wrestling was looking pretty bleak back then for me after that injury. So I focused on music and I used to sing for free. And then I ended up hosting my own TV show, which you were on a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, more than a couple of times. You were almost a regular. Toward the end, especially, I made sure to make you a regular. But I wasn't making money on public access. You don't get paid for that.
You were doing the all on your own money.
And I learned how to edit video, which is how we get into the channel, right? I taught myself how to edit video because I was paying to have the show edited because I thought I don't know how to do this. I didn't go to school for this, so
Yeah, I remember. So when you started doing that, when you started editing your own stuff,
I started editing my own stuff around the end of 2010, 11.
oh, that was good then.
I started probably toward the end of actually. I started.
It's a whole lot of pain in doing those editing things.
I sat down one day and I said, you know what? I'm tired of spending money. I spend more and I don't make any with this. So I'm just going to sit and I'm going to edit stuff. I'm just going to grab a random video and I'm going to
and fuck it.
I'm going to edit stuff. I'm going to put stuff on it. I'm going to work on it until it looks like what I want it to look like. And then I said, okay, I'm going to try and I'm going to do an episode of my show and I'm going to edit it myself. And so I sat down. For those who don't know much about editing, here's something you need to know. My show is 30 minutes long. So you would think it's 30 minutes to edit a show.
Yeah, right.
A 30-minute show.
They don't even know, brother.
Would be a full day work, would be at 8 hours minimum. 7 or 8 hours editing because you have to get everything down right. You have to get your time. You have to get the little screens that you put in between.
That's when they told me about doing the channel, you know, they get the watch hours. They said streams is way easier. Not disquitting streamers, but that you just gotta go live and that's it. But when you gotta edit a video, you gotta put much work into it. You gotta have a title, you gotta have an intro, an outro. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so I had to learn to do an intro. I had to learn to do an outro with the credits and all that stuff.
It's just.
But I did it. And then when you approached me with the project of X-Gamers Asylum.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember you I want to do a gaming channel.
I couldn't edit to save my life back in then.
So you came to me and I said, well, I got editing experience. I can teach you, right? And so we sat together and we worked on this. I got to say, as a student, I give you all the credit because you learned pretty fast. You picked up on that fast.
And that's why that's why I try to tell people, bro. Like in general, they want to do a channel and they get discouraged. You're not gonna have what you want in a day or two, or even a year. You're gonna have to keep on working. Forget about numbers. Forget about how many people watch your stream. Forget about how many views you're getting. Just keep it going. Yeah. And a lot of people, that I see on the stream, they be like, "Oh, I'm losing." YouTube don't like the word subscriber. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I'm losing subscribers. I'm losing subs. That's just numbers, bro. Like, just keep it going, man.
I think the biggest advice I would give anybody within the realms of entertainment, right? Whether you're a musician, whether you're a streamer who streams on YouTube or whatever it is that you do on these platforms, right? The one thing I would always tell people, and a lot of people say this, if you're going to do something like that, don't do it for the numbers. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it to get paid. Don't do it to make, to get famous. Do
And
it.
you know, with this channel has like what, like 5 years or more.
About 4 or 5 years, I would say.
But we didn't decide to do any of the streaming things. I started with videos, then I stopped with the whole pandemic. Came back in 2021.
I remember we used to do the little "It's a Gaming World" thing. I would come on and say, we went through name changes and everything till we find the Asylum.
Yeah, that is a cool number. And I already told people like why I named the channel like that, because the X, we both were like the X-Men. Gamers, exactly. There it is.
My
We
favorite
both are gamers. And Asylum, because my best homie over here, he loves the Joker. That's why I named it. The X-Gamers Asylum.
Anybody watching this podcast? Why? So.
Válgame Dios. This is the part where you guys need to run,
Yeah.
So yeah, I told everybody, but like it's not easy, even for us now. You think because we got monetized, that's it? We're gonna have millions? No, you have to still work double now.
No, you actually have to work harder when you have an audience.
Because you got to make the most money out of the ads that you could possibly get of any views in general.
It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes a lot of time. It's not. I would never discourage anyone from trying. I would always say that. I know people say there's so many streamers. There's so many people who do this already. All these.
Yeah.
There's all these streamers on Twitch. There's no way I can make it. That's the biggest problem, right? The attitude. What you need to do is, if you really love something, be it gaming, be it music, be it whatever, take a chance, right? Take a chance on yourself. Bet on yourself and say, I'm gonna do it. I know there's lots of people who do the same thing, but just remember, no two gamers or no two.
And I know, I know you were doing your thing with your move with your wife. That's understandable. But there were points that I was like, I wanted to give up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There's a lot of people that say, why would you give up now when all you need is to get monetized?
It happens because the one thing people forget, people think that when you're on screen all the time and stuff, that you good, right? I had that same problem too when I had my little TV show on BronxNet back in the day. That people thought I was rich and that I was.
Yeah, when they saw you in the street.
I was living in the hood, and people telling me like,
Tiene banco virado.
You like, I had one person, because back in those days
They don't even know, man. They don't know.
College still, and I had somebody tell me in college that why was I there if I should be going to the best school because I make all this money. And
they don't know, man.
And I said, well, first of all, okay, let's entertain that, right? Let's say I am making money, and if I was, right, which I wasn't. First of all, that doesn't mean I'm better than everybody else. That's number one. I'm still that little kid from the BX. I'm always going to be that BX kid, even though I live in Louisiana now, more places. I'm still from the Bronx and proud of it, right? I'm still that little Boricua from the Bronx. That don't change. Obviously, I still wear my Yankees hat in the South.
Damn right. I said, boy.
I wear Yankees hat everywhere I go. I know some people hate the Yankees, some people love the Yankees, but I'm still.
Yep.
You
know how that goes.
We people telling me that, and it's like, dude, I do this because I love it. I'm not making a dime. And actually, it was frowned upon to make money off of like people and their work,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it was, you know, I wasn't making any money. Yeah, my face was on TV, but that didn't mean that I was making bank or anything like that, you know.
So the question is now, like, if they going back to wrestling, if they call you up for a match, like you will do it now?
That's a good question, right? Because I never thought about that. See,
That goes for both of us.
I've told my girl this, right? There's one way you could get me back in a match. Only one way. If it were a tag match with you, right?
Yeah, tag match. I mean, even though you could get hurt, but it's safer.
It's safer, and it's because I'd be teaming with you. That's it. That's the only way you could get me in a match, right? The only way you can get me now. And I still might think about it, you know, because obviously I wouldn't just, you know, be like, okay, I'm gonna do this match. I'll obviously talk it over with my lady now, right, and see what she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Probably look at me like I'm crazy, I'm sure, but she knows I'm crazy anyway. So,
Oh my God, yo.
you know, you gotta be a little bit.
As for me, man, like with the type of stuff that's going on, you know, like we're not as young as we used to be. I would think about it a lot, like, because this people don't even understand how there are thousands of ways for you to get hurt in a wrestling match.
And it doesn't take much to get you hurt. That's the scary part. You go into that match, and a lot of wrestlers will say this. You go into that match, and every match you go into, you don't know if you're coming out. Because
Exactly.
it only takes one move to go wrong. And your whole life, your whole career could change. Darren Drozdrov, I can't say his name, formerly known as Jaws, may he rest in peace, is the perfect
I was just
example.
going to get to that. Mm-hmm.
Was the perfect example of how can wrestling go wrong. One move can completely end your career.
Look at Big E, bro. They're taking a lot of shots at that guy that's with Sheamus. I keep forgetting his name. The strong one.
Holland.
Yeah. They keep taking a lot of shots. Oh, why is he still in WWE? People they're not talking about this, but Big E can't wrestle no more, bro. He's done.
And
It's sad. Like it's really sad because he's not that old. He's only like 37, I think, around there.
Yeah, he's 37. Yeah.
And it's sad because he can't compete.
Hey,
Even
I'm hurt. I can't compete.
the winner by forfeit. Y el otro. But you know what? Going back to him, we saw him. You saw how fucked up he looks? Remember we saw him?
Yeah.
When we saw Big E?
Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't doing fine.
No.
You see when he was standing, like he como que sus piernas están como, like, they don't look normal.
Yeah, and it's sad because he had so much potential to be a huge star. I mean, all three members of the New Day are really good.
At least he won a world champion, but you know, like, still, man.
It sucks when you can't end your career on your terms.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's life, right? It's part of that's life.
I get the chance to end it on my terms. On my terms.
You're gonna give me what I want. And you give me now.
Well, yeah, man. It's
what
just
I want. You know what I want.
It's crazy, bro. Like how wrestling could do change. That's why I got a lot of respect for wrestlers in general. I don't care where they're from, or if they're indies, or if they're in WWE, AEW, or any of those wrestling companies. Nothing but respect to those people, man, who put it all out just to entertain us.
Because and this is why I will not ever hate on any wrestler. I don't have to like them or their characters or whatever. Or, you know, but I always find it to be disrespectful whenever somebody's like, they push this guy too much. He's being.
Oh yeah, that's what oh my god. We're gonna have to do an episode about that, about the
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it like it is.
And
about the fans, bro.
Don't get me wrong, I understand people's frustration, but as I've gotten older and after my body has warned me, right? I've learned that it doesn't matter if I like the person in ring skill or not. I do respect what they do. For example,
In general, yep.
biggest example is Roman Reigns overcoming leukemia in his life, and look what he did for a
And
living.
bro,
I
that's
feel
not
like
any disease. That's most people don't survive that disease.
I feel like people were behind him when his leukemia came back, and then he got better. Things got better for him. He came back, and then all of a sudden, people started booing him and hating him again. I understand that they don't like when the powers that be push somebody that hasn't been chosen by the
And,
fans.
and this was the same guy that they were mad when Batista won the Rumble, 2014. Remember, was it 2014? Yeah, when he came back and they were mad at, they were freaking booing the poor Mysterio. I will never forget that.
I mean, why does anyone boo Mysterio? Somebody explain that to me. Laura, I know she's sleeping, but I need to ask her why. Maybe she knows.
Those were the same people who turned their backs on him. That's why I don't follow wrestling pages. I don't deal with wrestling communities because that's one of the main two factors that are killing wrestling: the fans and social media. Anybody could tell me something else. I respect your opinion.
Yeah, I think those two are the biggest killers of pro wrestling because all these podcasts come out with people give you the backstage news. So not everybody is an expert in professional wrestling.
And not only that, bro, like you got legends doing these things. I'm not naming any of them, but you got legends taking shots at actual talent from today.
It makes me sad when the veterans of the business.
Well,
Like
you know what I really don't understand, bro. Like if you're somebody from the past, you need to understand this is not the '90s no more.
right,
Do we love that? That's the best era, '80s and '90s.
yes.
But you can't visualize yourself in any of this younger talent because this is now. You were
Right.
then. You did
Well,
your time. You're a legend. You won titles. It was way different. They were used to man up. Now everybody's worrying about video games that the Undertaker said. This and that. This is not like
what I think most people tend to forget is that as time changes, people evolve, and so does what works in wrestling. So what worked in the '80s and '90s might not work today.
exactly.
There's a niche of fans who would love it, right? But but there's a huge chunk of fans these days who would not approve of that style. For example, I've heard people say that Bret Hart was a terrible wrestler because he was technical, and they don't.
Yeah.
And I used to make fun of people who would say Bret Hart sucked and he was boring in the ring. But as time went on, I realized that that's just
Man was good in the ring.
part of the times, right? Nowadays, technical style bores some people, right? Some people find it really boring to do headlocks, takedowns, and submissions and all that. They want the high flying, fast paced action. So, times change. And also, what works in professional wrestling today that didn't work in the 90s is that back in the days, you had these 6'5", 300-pound men, big, beefy men, as Vince would say. And then
Just
nowadays,
to be considered a wrestler, that's crazy, man.
you got guys who are 5'10" old doing all these hurricane ranas, top rope moves, all this great
Was this
stuff.
flippy shit?
Right.
Ya no me pasé.
I'm a big fan of the old school style. I'm a big fan of FTR because I like what they do. They bring that old school feel to wrestling. But I also understand why people like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and the high flyers of the business. It's exciting. It's exciting to watch. It's a big spectacle. I know
Yeah, like the Lucha Bros. Oh my God, those
oh,
guys are.
we started. I love Penta. Penta's one of my favorites of this era, by far one of my favorites. I love him. I've been following his career since he debuted in 2008 in AAA because I watch AAA.
And those people have hit it.
Those people have cero miedo.
Let's talk about the shape that he's in, bro. You saw that show? He came
Yeah.
out shirtless.
he's got into terrific shape. I have to give it to him. He's in great shape.
But yeah, man, like I don't know, man, like wrestling, these old wrestlers need to stop doing that. I don't you don't really see all of them going and doing that,
Right.
criticizing the younger talent, but it's just it looks bad, man.
I understand that you have the style of wrestling that you're into, and that's cool, right?
It sometimes make me think that they still want to be around. They bitter
But,
that they can't do it no more.
well, I've heard several wrestlers say that even after you retire, you still get the bug. You want to come back, right? You want to come back that one more match.
Oh no.
You
So
know,
yeah, man. Any like before we've been here for 1 hour and 30 minutes, so we might be coming to an end already.
Yeah.
So man, like I said, people, wrestling is real. We both experienced that the hard way.
yeah, and it's I mean it's fun, but it's not fun. If you know what I mean. Your body will give you a receipt on in life. You know, so yeah, but you know, I would never discourage anyone from going after. If that's something,
The only thing I wrestle is a cheeseburger.
if that's something you want to try in your life, go for it. You know.
Yeah, man, like exactly.
You know, we wanted to do it. Everything we've ever wanted to went for.
That's what I tell people. Fight for your whatever you want to do. Just stop sitting back crying. I can't do it. It can't be done. You can't do it. Don't tell me it can't be done.
You know, when people tell you can't do it, that's because they've tried and they've
Failed.
stayed stuck in this limbo where they think they can't do something, and then
Exactly.
it's all a mindset, right? How you think is what you becometh. All right, so think positive, believe in yourself, believe in what you have to offer because everybody's different and everybody has different tastes, right? So you may think, man, what do I have to offer? Well, you don't know. Try, right? Go for it. You may have something really cool to offer an audience and create something special. So, you know, that's why we're doing this, right? And I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast of me.
Oh, it's only the beginning. This is our second episode. Yep. It's gonna get better, man.
So, you know, get ready next week. We'll have more for you. Please,
damn right.
Feel free. Oh, I can't speak right now. Feel free to leave your suggestions, your comments, anything you want us to talk about.
Arcade pop, what's that?
You know, and so
what is good live from work.
Yeah,
thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, man, it's only the beginning. We're gonna talk about a lot of things: the fans, the wrestlers, the legends, everything.
There's lots to talk about. So please feel free to tune in next week. Like I said, any suggestions, feel free to let us know what you want us to talk about next. Any events, matches, whatever, you tell us. As a matter of fact, y'all can give us some matches to watch, even if we've already seen it. I don't care. I'll watch it 1,000,000 times.
We've seen a lot of matches.
Any match you would like us to talk about, review, whatever, feel free to let us know. That's what we're here for. We could talk about it, give you guys some pointers, maybe give you guys some, I mean, not pointers, but give you guys like an insight to that, right? Tell you what we think, what we like, what we don't like. This is going to be brutally honest. So thank you for watching. Of course, this has been Fight Forever, episode 2. I'm your boy, Angry Gamer. That's your boy, Crazy Gamer.
What? Who you with?
Welcome. Well, I'm welcoming you to next week's episode, a weekend. See you next week. Thank you, my brother. As always, a pleasure.
Hell yeah. Fun time doing this, man. Thank you for taking some time to stop by.
Yeah.
And doing this.
Everybody who stopped by, thank you for taking the time on your busy Friday to hang out with us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Who you with?
A little more about these crazy SOBs. Thank you.
Shout out to Don Ramon. Oh my God, yo. All right, people. We'll see you next time.
Y serás.
Y las cosas son a nuestra manera.
Opa, aye.